Hi, if you are new here, I'm Kanita, and if you're already watching this channel, welcome back. Today we are continuing watching Hamon Beat channel, now the series Debunking Araki Forgot. So here I have an introduction video and parts 1 and 2. So we are going to watch this just as all the other times and see what, I never even noticed maybe any plot holes or anything like that. Maybe I wasn't actively searching for them, but I heard that some fans think that there are some plot holes, that Araki sensei forgot something and then it doesn't match up. So let's see what people are confused about or unhappy about, I guess, and see how we debunk that. So let's watch these videos. Let's go. Let's see. This is such a nice intro. Okay, so this is an introduction. About
topic among JoJo fans that I've become increasingly tired of is the idea of Araki forgot.
Yeah.
People parrot this shit endlessly.
I'm sorry, it's so nice to see the pages that I never saw before. It's after the end of the first part. One day a cruiser was found resting between the waves. The ship was empty. There was no sign of a struggle. 3 cups of coffee still half full, but of the crew, not a trace. Only one detail seemed strange. A steel box ripped apart with a blowtorch lay open on the deck, empty. Those who saw the thickness of the steel found it peculiar and wondered at the treasure that must have been inside, but in time it was forgotten. I see why it was chosen for the introduction. It was forgotten. Okay, that's cool.
Though many people do it as a joke, there is a huge portion of people that actually believe it, see Araki as a bad writer.
These were funny thumbnails.
The vast majority of the discussion on this topic massively downplays Araki's talent as what I believe to be one of the most accomplished mangaka of all time. At this point, I think
I don't know if I ever saw Araki sensei's photos before. He looks very good. And also, I forgot to say that obviously, I'm just reacting to this video, so as usual, go and watch the original video in full without my interruptions and give them a like and a comment, something like that.
He's having a real effect on his reputation among Western JoJo fans. A lot of the people joking about this sort of thing certainly aren't helping.
But only Western, right? So what about Japanese fans? What are they saying?
Either. The most frustrating thing about this is that 99% of the things people bring up are either not plot holes in the slightest or things that are explicitly explained in just outright.
I remember this moment, and I feel there was discussion in the comments when I watched this episode. I took it directly as he saw this man and he was so inspired by this man that he decided that he is going to replicate his style. I didn't even have any other options in mind. It was obvious to me that it was a moment showing why Josuke decided to look like that, even though everyone was making, well, not everyone, but people were making fun of him because his style was outdated. But it was to honor this man who helped his mom, and I think that's why okay, let's see. So far I think it's introduction. He's just showing some scenes that have some debate about them, but I think he's only going to talk about parts 1 and 2 in the video that I have. He isn't going to talk about the 4th part. If he has a video on the 4th part, I think he would discuss this moment probably. But yeah, and people in the comments were pointing out that there is a theory that he's is going to be some time travel, and he helped his own mom in some way, and so okay. No, I think it was just to show. There was also a good comment that it was to show a good heart of this town, and this is a representation of good people in this town. But yeah, I also think it was shown as to source of Josuke's like inspiration and good heart, like because sometimes other people influence us in life, become like role models, even like I don't really remember the details, even if like mom could just also describe him, or did he see it himself? Unfortunately, like I don't remember this episode very well, but yeah, I think this still makes sense.
Ignored by people. I think it's about time somebody debunks most of these so-called plot holes.
Oh god! Wait, I remember it was like when we first met Kakoin, he was painting something. How very fast! I see his stand has great power. It's no wonder that master wants him dead. But no matter, my stand shall do the job quite easily. Dang! It makes me again nostalgic about part 3. Were you hurt, Jojo? Jojo, are you okay? You're lucky, a few more inches and you'd have hit the stones. You alright, Jojo? The stairs aren't safe, Jojo. No wonder he was irritated. I would be too.
So that's what I plan to do. I'll be
Oh. All these covers are so pretty. Holy shit. This looks so golden.
going through the manga and finding almost every time when people claimed Araki forgot something. This is a massive undertaking, so I would appreciate if the comments help me out with this. If you have something that you think Araki forgot, or if there is something people keep saying he forgot that annoys you, leave it in the comments below, along with why you think so.
I don't think anything.
gathered some from various places, but this will speed up the process. See you soon when I am finished.
And I don't know, I kind of mostly also always trust. This is like from the 5th part. Is this Fuka? He looks so different. Holy shit. I like when I saw this moment fly by, I didn't even realize, but now that I see like look at it again, I realize like what moment it is from the 5th part, with Narancha here on the top panel, and that's Fuga like being not left behind, but like staying there. So he looks so different. But I wanted to look at this panel again with Josuke. Just then, suddenly in the rear view mirror, she saw a boy wearing a school uniform standing in the middle of the snow-laden road. Josuke's mother was understandably suspicious. For some reason, although she couldn't see his face clearly in the dark, she saw he was covered in bruises and was bleeding from a split lip. She thought he must have escaped from a brutal fight. What do you want? Come over here where I can see. She's so beautiful! Holy shit. Okay, so yeah, I think I thought then also that it's kind of shown that he might be a delinquent, like he looks like a delinquent. He was in a fight, but he comes, even though he's bruised and even though he's a delinquent, he tries to help her. And this is also a nice, how to say it, more complicated personality of this character, and putting more emphasis on the act of doing something good, if you know what I mean. So that's a pretty cool moment. I wanted to say something more, but I forgot. So that was the introduction. Now we are going to watch the actual video for parts 1 and 2. Probably gonna be a long video if I just pause and talk about everything like I did here. But there were shown like pages actually from the future parts. Good thing I already watched like 6. And here we are only going to talk about 1st and 2nd, and it didn't even show anything from 1st and 2nd. So let's watch the video. Let's go. This intro makes me happy every time. Okay.
Welcome to the first part of my new series where I will be debunking Araki Forgot. I have collected a large number of these from people online. Some seem so absurd to me that I'll be showing them on screen, just so you know I'm not making these up.
Okay.
Wanted to go part by part for this series, but it isn't exactly possible for part 1. Lots of people bring up things from part 1, but they are really about things introduced in later parts. So I'll be focusing
Makes
on
sense.
the first 2 parts in this video. Feel free to leave whatever you want to see later in the comments, so I can cover whatever I miss at a later time.
Okay.
In part 1, Will Zopelli demonstrates Hamon by punching a frog, leaving the frog
I was so worried about this frog. I remember this moment so well.
unharmed and destroying the rock underneath.
It was cool.
Many people point out that this
Caesar says Hamon has no effect on stone, but Baron Sepili blows up a rock through a frog using Hamon. I don't even remember that Caesar said that. Maybe in manga.
is seemingly contradicted by Caesar in part 2, who says that Hamon has no effect on stone. However, this is not the case. This is a wonky translation in the common anime subs. In the manga translation,
The ripple only works on living beings. It has no effect while they are stone. It only works when they are awakened. Okay, so that was a bad translation to the anime. I don't remember what my translation had. It's been a long while.
you can see that Caesar is specifically talking about the Pillarmen themselves. Hamon will be unable to kill them as long as they are stone. In part 1, Will was using the frog as a conduit to transfer the force of his punch to...
Yeah, so the frog, there was a living being, a frog. I guess that also makes for a good explanation. But also, I want to look at this panel. Yeah, his head. So we saw in the differences between manga and anime that his head was different at first in manga. Gosh, it looks so cool. It looks like candy. You know, this kind of candy cane, but super colorful. And this moment looks cool in manga too. And it's kinda... it's cool. I like it a lot.
break the rock. While Caesar could definitely break the stone, it would have little effect. This is supported by the fate of Santana, who is still alive despite being broken apart in his stone form. Caesar himself also witnessed that the Pillarmen will absorb whoever touches them while...
Whoever touches them. This looks so cool. These panels from manga make me want to read manga. Caesar was completely lost. Don't come any closer. That's one of their traps. A trap that exploits human curiosity to feed them during their sleep. Wow. This is a very cool panel.
They're made out of rock. Another property of Hamon people seem to think Araki forgot is the healing. In part 1, Will meets a man who uses Hamon to heal people.
Okay, to heal people. This is unbelievable. Just by touching the man's leg, a wound which maggots were about to infest started turning pink again. And to me, his hands looked as if they were as bright as the sun. You should be able to walk in 10 days. You just need to eat some food and regain your strength back. Impossible. No, the stone mask. It's the opposite of the stone mask.
He also uses Hamon to heal Jonathan's broken arm.
Jojo, how could you? He is injured. He won't be able to breathe for a while, but don't worry. Yes, Pepper. My favorite moment that I always talk about. What is this? My body. My arm.
For some reason, people keep saying this is forgotten, when really it has no other opportunities to be used. Do people think that they could have healed Caesar or Lava? Do people...
Yeah, I don't think that's healable, guys. I'm sorry.
think Hamon can just bring people back from the dead? I fail to see the logic in bringing this up.
Yeah, I see. So, like, there was no point. By the way, it's funny how I feel like in most parts, maybe we have someone in the party who has some kind of healing abilities. Not sure. Did we have anything like this in part 3? Because I feel like after that we always had someone who could like in some way heal or fix the injuries, and that was I feel like it became a staple. And so it's funny that we had something like this in the first parts also, like the ability to heal with Hamon. It just maybe wasn't used in the second part. And I think also you could say that maybe, like, if you have magic, so to say, you can do different things with it. So maybe you have to also, like, train and practice to be able to cure with Hamon. Like, you would practice to be able to use it offensively. You also have to practice to use it as, like, a healing spell, so to say. You know what I'm trying to say?
Some people ask how
but he's talking, so he is breathing. I don't know if he doesn't have lungs, but if he can talk and smile, it seems like he is breathing.
Misconception, as you do not need to be breathing at all times to have Hamon stored in your body. For
Okay.
example, Jonathan was still able to use Hamon
Underwater.
after getting a quick breath of air. Hamon is created by blood flow, and blood still flows in your body even when you're not breathing.
By vaporizing the water in the body, he can still heat and freeze you. If you are frozen, you can send Hamon to Dio, which is created in the flow of your blood. But what an amazing ability to do the whole body in an instant.
Dyer had his body frozen, which halted his blood flow. His head was still not frozen, so he was able to use the small amount of Hamon he had left to infuse the rose. An extremely
Makes sense.
minor moment in part 1 is when Speedwagon uses his body heat to try and help Sapelli's frostbite. For whatever
I mean, okay. Remember when Speedwagon had some supernatural heat ability, which he used to melt Dio's sides, but body heat exists. I mean, it's not supernatural. I don't know if it can help with, well, if your hand is super frozen and someone, like a warm person, kind of touches it and hugs it, it should help, right? You know? And if you like massage it also a little bit, I think it makes sense. They're thinking about things that I would never even think about.
whatever reason, people think this is a supernatural ability, despite him explaining that he learned it while traveling the world.
Mr. Seppele, I have traveled the world too. I have seen the Eskimos living near the poles. They heal frostbite by putting the flesh of a seal around them. Yeah, so...
One of the strangest things I've seen is a group of people who say Araki forgot about George Joestar's ring.
Remember when George gave Jonathan the ring of his wife, implying that he was going to be... That was going to be somehow important, but it isn't? How desperate can you get to find a plot hole that doesn't exist? It's symbolic of her passing. It really bugged me. I was expecting a proposal. I mean, it's your expectations, not a plot hole. From Jonathan to Irina using that ring as the only thing that was left from his family. And maybe being passed and generations... What ring did he use? Maybe he used this one. I don't know. After having some kind of impact, not just a little spotlight and then be forgot. Yeah. I mean, this person literally said the same thing that I did. That's not Araki, that's your expectation. I think it's funny because it happens in One Piece community a lot. I would see people have some specific expectations and then be upset at Oda-sensei because their expectations didn't happen. But like... It was just your expectation, what you kind of wanted or expected to happen. It doesn't mean it had to happen, you know?
George looked at it as he was dying, which makes the police officer bring up the story of George letting Dario go free. Over 100 people apparently think this was meant to come back in some way after George gives Jonathan the ring. The ring is really just there for Jonathan to remember his father by when he looks at it during the fight with Dio. But apparently that isn't good enough.
So it was used. I think that's good enough. It's like something from his father, like a memento of his father, so...
George actually only tells Jonathan to take it in the anime, so maybe people just assumed a larger emphasis was being placed on it from there. I really don't get why some people are so particular about this small detail. A recurring example people try to...
Yeah, wait. So I can understand that like when something is presented, you expect that it's going to come into play, especially by the way how it's presented. But by this panel in the manga, it seems that it was used in the manga. What did he say about the anime again? Sorry.
But apparently that isn't good back in some way.
Let's see.
George gives Jonathan the ring. The ring is really just there for Jonathan to remember his father by when he looks at it during the fight with Dio. But apparently that isn't good enough. George actually only tells Jonathan to take it in the anime, so maybe people just assumed a larger emphasis was being placed on it from there.
Okay. So wait, what about the manga?
Apparently think
Like this scene of him giving the ring only happened in the anime. Like I don't like remember anime well enough, I'm sorry. And that scene wasn't present in manga. We just saw that he had a ring in manga, like there was no scene. And by adding that scene, the anime created expectations that it's going to be like something more. I guess that's okay, so...
example people try to use as an Araki forgot is whenever there's a minor character who appears for a short time.
Poca, Smokey, and Anna, they all show up for a couple of episodes and then just never show up. Sans Smokey, but he still doesn't do a lot.
In part 1, the example would be the young boy character, Poco. Poco was an extremely...
But Poco did come into play, at least in the anime. I remember, like... Okay, let's see.
Minor character who is really only relevant for one fight. He has a completed arc where he starts as a coward and eventually becomes brave and helps Jonathan.
I think that's enough.
His sister is rescued. I really have no idea why people would want him to come back, since he really has nothing left to do.
So, like, people expected that he's going to appear again, like, in second part or something. No, like, that's the expectation, your expectation, not something that kind of... Yeah, I feel like I was completely satisfied with his storyline, I think. Okay, now people are going to find my reaction and me say, like, I want to see Poco again. I don't think I was, like, unsatisfied in any way. I thought, like, okay, yeah. His storyline is finished. It was great. I really liked that moment that he mentioned here, that he was relevant in only one fight. I think that was really cool.
After his defeat, Santana entered a rock-like state to save himself. The Speedwagon Foundation kept him underneath lights so that he would be unable to escape. A lot of people seem to think this is a plot hole, and it would imply Santana would return later.
As long as we keep exposing him to ultraviolet light 24 hours a day, Santana can't move. I can't. Their faces. Holy shit. Why are they so goofy? These are supposed to be scientists, right? What is this? Ha ha ha, that's true. Shall we take our time and experiment on ways to destroy him for good? What the heck, guys? We can breathe easy. I don't know. I feel like, as I said before, from all these pages, manga is so fucking funny. No, there were a lot of funny moments in anime as well, but I feel like the first part was super serious. Second had much more funny moments, but still, like, I didn't feel like any of the parts, to be honest, were that goofy. But when I see all these manga panels, they were just hilarious.
Really, he's written off in somewhat of a joke panel, so I really don't see how people expected this. At the end of the day, Santana is such a non-threat to Joseph that he probably just dispatched him off screen. A small one that I've seen brought up...
No, I don't think... I think, like, he already... I think he came back, like, one time. Did it happen? Like, I didn't feel... Maybe I thought he might return, but, like, not necessarily. But we kind of dealt with him already. But it is possible that maybe we will see him. I don't know. I didn't really put much thought into it. And then we had this free pillar man to concentrate on. And my attention span is only that big. Joseph's clackers. Oh, clackers? You mean like these weapons that he was using? Although it could be put down to Joseph realizing they were silly. Okay.
A surprising amount of times is asking what happened to Joseph's clackers. This is a prime example of people literally just not paying attention in the slightest.
Okay, let's see. Watch out, Jojo. Crap! Without that weapon, I would have torn your face away like a cheap mask. Huh? What's with that guy? Did I just see 10 fingers on one hand? Okay.
Since the clackers were broken by wired back.
I see. So, like, this moment shows that they were broken. I mean, you could fix them, but... Yeah, again, I didn't really think about that, like...
Santana was first introduced. Stroheim names him after the winds of Mexico.
Okay, wait. I missed
when
that.
Santana is first introduced, Stroheim names him after the winds of Mexico. Later on, Wamu can be seen referring to him by the same name. This is after he overheard Santana's fate from the Nazis, so he must have heard the name there.
Okay, makes sense.
The way Wamu refers to him also seems to imply that he never had a name to begin with. Cars also makes
sense. I want to look at the panels again. So here I guess that's Stroheim. It's such a small frame. A name would be good. Calling him the man in the column is a pain. I, Stroheim, will be your godfather. Let's see, how about like the warm winds of Mexico? This sounds beautiful. I mean, he has a poet inside of him. And then we have this. From what the humans said, it seems that in a land over the ocean, Mexico, he, Santana, was defeated by a weak light-creating device. Yeah, I guess this makes sense from what the humans said.
There. The way Wamu refers to him also seems to imply that he never had a name to begin with.
Yeah.
And Cars also refers to him by name during the scene when Stroheim returns.
Oh, the pretty cool what? Santana, what a joke. It was just a young novice. Or how do I say it? Novice? Novice? I don't know. Nothing more than a weak puppy. He was nowhere near our level. Okay, let's see that red stone. Thanks, Stroheim. Looks so cool. And Cars, I don't know, kind of looks different also from the anime Beat. His headscarf. It looks like headscarf.
Stroheim mentioned Santana a few moments earlier.
Press your fingers, roughly double Santana's. You fool! The world doesn't stand a chance against Nazi science! Santana's power was just the first step in building this arm of mine. I like his way of talking a lot. I think he was kind of epic in his speeches in anime, but I don't know. I really like this way of talking in manga and anime. I think it looks really cool.
Cars would obviously know who Stroheim is talking about since he's the only other Pillar Man, and would refer to him as Santana since that is the only name Joseph and Stroheim know him by.
I mean, makes sense.
Another annoying thing people bring up is the motivation of Strayzo. After growing old, he became jealous of Dio's immortality and decided to betray Speedwagon and steal the mask. People say that this conflicts with his previous actions.
What did you say, Straits? It is because of him that I mastered the Ripple, as well as the Redstone. So you are saying Straits was your adopted father?
When he trained Lisa and gave her the Red Stone, Strayzo was the one to raise Lisa and taught her.
And that Straits who lost his mind and fought me, is holding a baby? What? How is that possible? The baby looks like it's already at least 18 years old. But dang, Straits was so pretty. Holy shit. And I think I saw a page in from manga in another Hamon Beat video with old Straits, and he still looked hot, even as an old man. So.
Since childhood, Lisa even has a line where she laments that Strayzo eventually lost his mind.
It brings me much grief that Straits lost his mind when he thought about losing his youth. The fact that you killed him is casting some odd feelings on me, but it was probably just fate.
It clearly occurred after he had begun to age. Obviously.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Like, now, for example, I'll be 30 soon. It's still pretty young, in my opinion. Like, I wouldn't even, at this age, you don't even think about these things that much yet, right? But as he was aging, and we saw him already, like, as an old man, right? He saw that his youth is going away, even though he was using Hamon, that, as we know, kind of helps you age slower. He still was aging, and I think it makes sense to kind of have a change of I don't know, like opinion, so to say. And also, if they refer to it as like losing his mind, I feel like also when a person becomes older, they kind of, okay, it kind of sounds rude if I say it like that, but yeah, their mind is affected. As you become older, the mind is affected. Many people, they become like more forgetful, stuff like that, right? So kind of losing your mind in a sense. So I think that's completely logical. I'm pretty sure that when I was watching, I was shocked, I was surprised by this. I was like, straight? What? How? Why? I thought he's a good guy. But thinking about it, I think this makes sense.
Straizo would not be concerned about his aging until the sign started the show.
Yeah,
and he
exactly.
Would finally go over the edge until he learned that there were multiple stone masks. Finally, an idea that a lot of people seem to bring up is that Araki forgot about cars. I really don't understand why people would think this, since it was very clear.
This is such a cool... Holy shit. Dang. This panel in the middle looks so cool. It's not working. It's freezing. There, it's freezing. It's freezing on the way out. I can't change... What? My trajectory. I can't go back. Holy shit. This page looks so cool.
That cars went insane and stopped thinking during his time in space.
Okay, I saw this page.
Okay, that was everything I could find for parts 1 and 2.
Okay, so like people were expecting him to come back. Give me some.
Why people would think this, since it was made very clear that cars went insane and stopped thinking during his time in space.
Yeah, eventually he stopped thinking. Yeah, he was already like there in space, chilling, not thinking. Became like an asteroid or something. Yeah, we talked about this when I was reacting to some of the anime manga differences, I think, video. This Debunking Araki Forgot parts 1 and 2 was more about people's expectations, like what they were expecting to see. As I also already compared it to One Piece, I feel like in One Piece there is a big problem with, because I'm like more in that fandom, I guess. I watched through 6 JoJo parts, but I'm not reading manga, and I guess that's a bit different. But in One Piece case, I'm reading manga like in the ongoing. Every time the new chapter comes out, I go and read it. I like more in the community talking about like what is going to happen this chapter, next chapter, right? So I see what people are saying and what their expectations are, and like when these expectations are not met, and also with the characters coming back. I think this is kinda, you shouldn't really expect anything, because again, like in One Piece, for example, there were so many cases when you think that someone has died and then they come back, and it happened so many times that now if I see that someone probably has died, I never expect anything. I don't expect them to be dead, and I don't expect them to come back. I expect that I don't know what to expect, right? I'm like, yeah, maybe they're dead for good, maybe they'll come back, I don't know. Like, it can be either way. So because it happened so many times that they died and came back, but it also happened that they died and that's it. So like you never know, it could be like a huge explosions like everywhere, like, and you still see this person again. But then with another character, it would be like a huge explosion, everything, and that's it, the character is dead. Like, I'm sorry, what was the difference between these two explosions? And you just kind of learn to take it as it is. You know, I don't really think too hard on this. He's writing his own manga, how he sees it, and you just have to see the vision. As long as it is kind of pretty much consistent within the work, you just if you like this work, you perceive and accept it as it is, with the rules that are set within this work. So like in One Piece case, I know the rule that you can die from explosion and you can survive after explosions. You can die after being burned in lava or drowned, or you can survive. You never know. And I just take it as it is. right? That's how it is in this world that the author created. Just try not to, if you nitpick every little detail and try to put your own expectations and your own rules on the world, then you are never going to enjoy this work. I mean, I understand if people are unhappy about actual big plot holes. Maybe they do happen in some places in some manga and anime, but in this case, as I already said, I'm going to repeat myself, it's more about your expectations and kind of applying the rules of real world to the world of anime or manga and stuff like that, right? So that's my opinion on this. That was very interesting, very insightful. Again, I made almost 40 minutes video on this 7-minute video. But that's the nature of commenting, I guess. So what are your opinions on this? I guess it will be more interesting to watch about the next parts, because it will be probably, but did Araki forget about Hamon? Why don't we ever see Hamon again? He just took the stance idea and ran with it. And something was presented in the first part, why is it not in fifth part? I think that would be exciting to listen about. And in these two parts, it is pretty limited what we can talk about in the sense of Araki forgot moments. But share your thoughts in the comments if you have any. So we are talking about part 1 and 2 here, but I watched until the end of Stone Ocean, so in theory you can talk about all the first 6 parts if you want, but no spoilers for the 7th part, etc. please, because I haven't read it. I'm kind of hoping to wait for the animation, because I was watching JoJo and I want to continue watching it in the media that I started it in. These manga pages from these Hamon Beat videos that I saw, they look very exciting, they look very enticing, but I'm really scared about the gore. And I don't know, I feel David Production is the studio that is animating JoJo, right? I feel they are very considerate of me, and they try to make gore a little less gory, as far as I know, as far as I was told, and I kind of appreciate that, and again, I can kind of quickly move on, the scene happens and we continue, but in the manga I have to look at the page and read it. And remember, when I looked at this page with Danny, where he was coming out of the furnace, I couldn't even read it, I just skipped through it, I didn't want to read it. So in the manga I'm going to have this problem. But this is completely off topic, so share your thoughts on this video that I was reacting to, on the Araki forgot moments, and your opinion on this. That would be it for today, so thank you for watching and see ya!